Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning thought for today. This is the start of our Holy Week, a week that we allow ourselves to be prepared for Good Friday, for Easter Sunday morning, and for basically the opportunity of celebrating and enjoying the Easter period. We know that it's going to be fantastic to be able to get back to church. And if you're a Killinchy member, then I remind you that we have our Good Friday evening service at 7 p.m. on Friday at the church. All restrictions apply, and we would love to see you there. But we're also going to take time there to celebrate the sacrament of the Lord's Supper together. We also then meet again on Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning, or Resurrection Day, as I like to call it, because that's the day we celebrate the fact that Jesus was no longer dead, but indeed he had come back. He had been resurrected, and because he lives, we also know that through faith in him we can live. But I want to ask you a question this morning as we begin to prepare for the weekend. And this is an important question. Which is more important to you, Christmas or Easter? Christmas or Easter? Now, Christmas and Easter are very different periods in the church calendar. Christmas is a time when it's dark and the lights are on and there's a smell and aroma of food and so many things going on and all the things that have to be done. Easter's slightly different. We tend to hope that Easter's going to be brighter and maybe a little bit warmer, maybe a bit more sunshine. And certainly the only food we seem to think of at Easter is maybe chocolate or lamb. But we put so much preparation into Christmas, don't we? The shops are full of it really from the end of October right the way through to Christmas Day itself. Easter, on the other hand, well, it just seems to happen. It just seems to be, it's Easter this weekend, and people drift into Easter. I wonder what would happen in our lives, in our spiritual lives, if we put the same amount of preparation into Easter as we do for Christmas. Now, I know in some church traditions there's the period of Lent, and that's a time when we deny ourselves certain things just so we can maybe think a little bit more about Christ's passion, etc. And that's not a bad way to approach Easter. But this Easter week, this Holy Week, what are you planning to do? How are you going to prepare yourself for Good Friday? How are you going to prepare yourself for Easter Sunday morning? And that's a real question, because I always try to take some time to read a book in the period that leads up to Easter that focuses my thoughts on the cross. Very often it's not necessarily something I'm going to be preaching on the weekend, but it's something that I feel that I need to do in preparation for Easter so that I don't just somehow slip into Easter. I don't just turn the page in my diary and suddenly find out, next weekend's Easter. And certainly if you've been following along the thoughts for today and my sermons, etc., you'll know that I've been talking about Easter for quite a while, because I believe it's so important to prepare for Easter. Now, I'm not talking about buying Easter eggs and sending Easter cards and all that sort of stuff. That's really not important. But it is really important that we allow the wonder and the awesomeness of God to fill our minds and hearts again as we look towards the cross and as we look to the empty tomb on Sunday morning. And so I want to encourage you this week to do something different, to have more time by way of devotional, to set aside more time instead of skipping through this video and maybe not watching it to the end. Watch it to the end. Make your own quiet times more meaningful, etc., so that you get as much as you can for your own self in preparation for Good Friday and Easter Sunday morning. Now, I know we thought last Sunday about how Jesus sent his disciples ahead of him to get the colt, and then how he rode into Jerusalem and then went to the temple and looked around. And that was important because that was part of Jesus' preparation for what he knew was the Easter story. But how are you preparing? So this week I want to help you if I can, and we're going to look at this book of 4 words, and Kevin DeYoung is one of those who's contributed to this book, and I'm a big fan of Kevin DeYoung. And I want to encourage you just to tune in. I'm going to be taking little snippets of thoughts every day from this book, and I'm going to share them with you. And if you want to try and get your hands on it, you can do so. But it's hopefully an opportunity for us as we take from Tuesday through to Friday to look at these 4 words. And I'm not going to go over the 4 words this morning. That's going to happen each day. But I want to really encourage you. My thought for today, quite simply, is how are you preparing for Easter? And I want to challenge you, please don't let Easter just simply happen. I believe Easter this year is more important than Easters we've had for many, many times. We are getting freed from being locked indoors, being not allowed to go to our churches. We're being freed to stand and to see each other together in church and worshipping God corporately. And I think it's fantastic. It's such an important Easter. Don't let it sneak up on you. Please take time this week to prepare your heart and your mind and your soul for Easter Sunday and for the significance of that wonderful day. Prepare yourself for these 4 words this week. Happy Monday. See you tomorrow. God bless.